let's just jump in. So the full-time job as we know it is dying, and we're seeing a huge shift in the workplace and how people like to work. And over the last couple of years, especially, millions of high performers have left the traditional full-time workforce, escalated by COVID, of course, and they're not predicted to return to the normal 9 to 5 in the office. The flexibility ranks second only to compensation in terms of job satisfaction, which is really huge. And then if we dig deeper, it's the when people work that's really important, not so much or not just the where. People really want work that they can fit in around their busy lives or around their needs, specific needs. And we've seen companies trying to implement new ways of working to meet the demand for flexibility, such as hybrid, digital nomads, working from a tree doing yoga. But now an increasing number of companies are starting to offer job sharing, and that's really increased in the past few years, as you can see here. We're hoping to help that. Yeah. So what is job sharing? Job sharing is when two people share the responsibilities, salary, and benefits of a job. And studies show that sharing drives more accountability in the role, increased productivity, well-being, and greater diversity. So the stats you see here are taken from a government survey. So the civil service has been promoting job sharing internally for a long time. They're actually the trailblazers of job sharing in the UK, and around 5% of their workforce, I believe, job share. So they've got a really good amount of data that proves the benefits of it for employees, but as well as businesses. And there are lots of benefits. So we've already discussed, but it attracts women and more diverse people into mid to senior roles. The business gets a broader range of skills, double the experience, and that diversity of thought. And there's continuity. So if one person leaves or is off, there's always another person there. And it's an amazing peer-to-peer learning experience. But finding the right people to job share is complex, lengthy, and manual. So cue role share. So we are the only platform that enables talent and companies to put their jobs out to market and receive matches. They can do joint applications, and then on the business side, they can track applicant progress and compare applicants all within the platform. And there are all sorts of people who come to RoleShare and want to do job sharing for all different reasons. So the common ones we see are people with caring responsibilities, or people who might be studying, then also freelancers, contractors, or people with multiple projects on the go. So how we can help you guys is we can help you to find a job share partner and a new role. Or we can help you share your current role. If you're in a role, but you want more flexibility and you'd like to create it into a job share, we can help you put together a business case and help you to find a partner to share it with. And for those looking for a career change, why not use job sharing as an enabler? Takes a bit of planning, but the trick is kind of finding a partner who complements you well and enables you to break into a new industry with your existing soft skills coupled with their experience in that industry already. It could be a really lovely use case of job sharing. So I will give you a demo now of the tool.
How many jobs do you tend to have on RoleShare at any one time, Nicola?
So we have at the moment about 400 to 500 jobs. Yes, there are two types of jobs, which I'll explain. This is the dashboard that you'll see when you log in. And these are the contacts that are being suggested to you as good matches. And our algorithm will work on whatever you've put in your profile. So it will be working on your the current role that you've been in and your industry and things like that. So it's good to fill out the profile with as much detail as possible. Okay. And then it would also suggest roles to you, again, based on all that information that's given in the profile section.
And when you complete a profile, how long would you say that typically takes?
So there's a really quick way of doing it, which is a good tip. So which is a feature where you can upload your CV. So if you create the profile using your CV right from the start, there's an option, sign up with CV. It will import all of the information for you. You still have to go through and tweak and tidy up a few bits and bobs, but that should be pretty quick. I'd say that could take you 5 minutes. The other way is to just do it via email and then add everything in manually, which takes a bit longer because it's recreating those sections from your CV, your experience and things like that. So I'd really recommend creating the profile with your CV because it's very quick. But once it's done, but you can go in and edit it at any time. So say, for example, your current industry is government administration, but you'd like to find a job in graphic design, then play around and go in and change that industry. If the system isn't throwing you matches that you think are relevant or you're not interested in, have a little play around with some of these, because there's lots of options in there, and that will feed the algorithm all that different information. So you can just play around and save those at any time. I'll just show you how to search the roles. So this is all of the roles we have on the site. So we have 446, and I'll explain the two different types that we have. So we have companies that we're working with directly who are managing their roles on the platform. And that currently is JP Morgan, Zurich, and two smaller agencies. And then there are other roles which we're finding, which the company says these jobs are open to Jobshare, and then we put them on the site for you so you can find them and see them. But those roles, the link will take you off-site to apply. And I'll show you an example because it is ever so slightly confusing. So it's easier if I show you. So for an example with JP Morgan, here we go. Here's a JP Morgan role. What I can see here is apply for this position on the site. So I'll just run through it. What it wants you to do is apply with another person as a pair. So JP Morgan want people to apply as pairs. They've set it up so that people can only apply for roles as pairs. Whereas other companies are more open to people perhaps applying as a single applicant. And then the pair coming later. Yeah, it's a bit, everybody does it slightly differently, but hopefully it will be clear from the platform what steps you need to take. So for example, if I apply with Soha, this is a graph which is showing us how compatible we are. And then when I apply for the position, for JP Morgan, it's going through a couple of questions within the platform. It's a little bit of blurb in these, and then hitting apply. So it's all done in the platform, and they will go in, they will look at your profile that you've created, and all the information will be there. So that's why it's important, especially if you're applying for a JP Morgan or Zurich role currently, to really have your profile completed. But we've got some really good companies in our sales pipeline who should be coming onto the platform really soon. Other kind of big brand names that you'll have heard of. So I think the tip is when you're applying for things, just pay attention to how it wants you to apply. And I'll show you is there a way, so for example, if you were applying there with Soha, is there a way for you to get in touch with Soha to say, by the way, I'm going to apply for this job and I think you and I should do it together? Yes, so she will need to accept it on her end once I've submitted. So you can't just randomly apply with people that you don't know. I'll come to a little bit more about meeting people and some tips on matching and finding out if you're going to be a good pair or not. I'll just show you the other type of role while we're on roles, just so that you can see how that looks. So let's click, for example, on Santander, this role here. So here you'll see that it doesn't have the apply button. It has apply on company's website, so it has a link. And then you're just, sent to the company website. As you know, all companies have their own version of how this will look. So what we recommend in this case is, if you want to apply as the pair, that you both create an account, you both apply for the role, but you make it very clear in the cover letter right at the top that you're applying as a pair, and please put that, mention role share, we'd love that. And then in terms of your CV, because it's likely that they'll have one upload button for a CV, that you just zip them together in a PDF, PDF compressor, so that one sits in front of the other, and that you both do that, so it's really clear that you're applying as a pair here. And hopefully, the more, hopefully these companies will get them onto the platform in time. I hope so. So another tip is to click show interest on any roles that you like, because that is, again, feeding the algorithm with the type of thing that you're interested in. And in the case of accounts where, so Zurich and JP Morgan, they will see that you've shown interest. So they'll see your profile, and you'll go into their talent pool.
Yeah.
So it's good to do that. And then the other tip from this is, and let's hope that we've got some, is if you scroll down, here we go, you'll see people interested in this role. So that's the next tip. These people are going to be really great people to start connecting with because you like the same role.
Yeah.
So you can click on connect. You can see a limited amount of information about them before you connect, and you can't see their photo. But once you connect, you'll be able to see all of their, all of their profile info and their photo and everything like that.
That's clever.
Yeah, so those are kind of the best tips, really, is to really click on that show interest button and have a look at who else is looking at the roles currently, because they'll be active right now and looking.
Yeah.
So the businesses embracing it are, and there are quite a few on here now. Some that stand out that I know post lots of roles that they say open to Jobshare. Selfridges, Mayor of London post a lot of roles. Santander have started to. In fact, I've really noticed in the past couple of months, more companies are now having this statement on job descriptions saying open to job sharing. It's really starting to pick up. Civil service have been, and NHS have been doing it for years. They're already miles ahead. A few construction companies in there, Financial Times. So big companies are embracing it. And I think as well, companies with lots of senior and complex roles are embracing it, because that's also where job sharing works really, really well, because senior roles, people are more likely to burn out with long hours and things like that. So if it can be split, then it's the best of both worlds for the business and the employee as well. What I have heard discussed is it's a way for people who want to semi-retire to stay in the workforce, and that's attractive. I know that's attractive to companies because they don't want to lose the person who's got 20 years of knowledge. They want to keep them, but that person wants that work-life balance and is fed up of doing, the job. So that definitely does appeal. That kind of succession planning. Companies very interested in it for that purpose.